What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're going to be doing another first shots video. Today we're going to be looking at a gun that a lot of people asked me to get and that I'm pretty excited I got myself. This is the M&P metal frame M2.0. So this is Smith's version of their 2.0, except you get a couple of new bells and whistles and a metal frame, as you can see there. Not a metal frame like a lot of people done it. They actually did it a little bit different, a little bit unique. It has quite the Smith Wesson twist on it. So first things first, what is it? Well, it's a striker-fired semi-automatic metal frame pistol with a 4.5-inch overall slide. Pretty standard considering the same M&P overall specs. I think it's 4.25 inch, sorry, not 4.5. Now we've got standard metal white dot night sights with a Picatinny rail. Got a pretty decent trigger, extended a little bit and texturized mag release, which is pretty cool. Comes with two standard capacity 17 round magazines, and then it comes with your backstrap kit, which is the same as the standard 2.0. It actually just fits this metal frame. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the first times I've seen a lot of removable grip panels and stuff for standard grips. However, I have never seen a backstrap kit with a metal frame quite like this one. We get a little bit enlarged controls on the slide release slide lock there, and obviously because I think this is more designed to be a competitive gun. And then we also get kind of a beveled magazine well with an upswept undercut on the trigger guard, and then another polymer insert here, which was actually kind of a failure point on the previous Smith & Wesson guns, as this piece here would fall out of the previous metal frame that had this setup, I guess, which was the CSX, I believe. I think that's where they got this idea, and they decided the CSX kind of sucked, and they were just going to put it in the M&Ps because they actually work well. That to me is a good idea. However, they did the same limited texture on the grip that the standard CSX does, and that's really the only thing that strikes me as something I find a little confusing about this gun. Everything else seems to be pretty cool. Now, from at least the forum stuff I've seen, other videos, they say that the sear engagement on the trigger is a little bit different as well, and supposedly it's meant to give it a better trigger. From dry fire, the trigger actually does feel really good, and the Cerakote, the gray Cerakote on the gun itself looks pretty awesome, along with the Smith & Wesson fish scale slide serrations that you have on there. Not only usable, but they're pretty sexy as well. Overall, this is a really cool looking gun in my opinion. It looks much higher end and much cooler than standard M&P, but it is about double the cost, coming in at about $900 to $1,000. Is it worth it? Well, we're gonna have to find out, so let's go shoot it. But before we do, I wanna mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. We make content for you and not the industry, so we thank you for that. If you wanna support the channel, you gotta just go to the link in the description and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS, could really use your help. So please go down there, click that link and donate to those kids. And finally, I do wanna thank my boy Elliot at Mr. Guns. He's my buddy. He owns Mr. Guns in Waterloo, Iowa, and he let me borrow this for review. Can't thank him enough for that. So without further ado, let's go down and thrash this gun and see how it works. All right, we're gonna load some 115 grain Blazer brass in here, courtesy of Manning & Sons. And we have the new Primary Arms Classic series on there, which is a pretty cheap optic, and we'll see how that does today. But we got to zero it here at about 7 yards. Now, one of the things I didn't mention earlier is that the metal frame obviously does add a little weight, going up to about 30 ounces. Not much weight, but maybe about 3 or 4 ounces over the standard 2.0. That is a solid group, just nowhere near where we want it to be. A little bit more recoil than I expected, believe it or not. Let's take a look at that group over there.
Also, sorry about the wind, people. It's Iowa.
So that's my first 7-yard group there. 1, 2, 3, all touching.
Wow.
So we just got to move it up. 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, and we're good. One of the many ways I am spoiled by Trijicon is that I tend to forget that a lot of optics require not just an Allen key to zero their optic, but they require particularly special ones like this Hollow Sun Classic here. This Allen key is actually smaller than the regular like pocket knife set that I usually carry on my gear. So every single time I get one of these, I have to walk all the way back to the house, get the right wrenches. So if you're at the range right now trying to zero this, good luck.
Is that a Hollow Sun, babe? Or is it a
yeah, this is a Primary Arms, actually, sorry. But the point I'm trying to make is Trijicon actually has those little the flathead screwdriver adjustments, and then you could use the tip of a bullet or a flathead screwdriver, which is awfully convenient by comparison to the Allen key option. I really like the gun so far. The recoil and pulse a little bit more than I expected. When I get a metal frame gun, I always expect the recoil to be less than a polymer frame. And honestly, especially with an aluminum frame, that's not always true. Sorry about the wind, we have a dead cat. It's Iowa, guys, it is what it is. As far as the optic though, I'm not vibing with the optic so far. I'm not a fan. All right, so now we are at the 50-yard line. Load a mag up here and just kind of see how we do. Are we missing that a lot?
You missed a couple, but
what in the free hell's going on with this dot? I don't like this dot at all. Something's happening here. It's like so inconsistent. So I'm on at 7 yards and then I'm off the target at 50. Because watch this, I'll shoot right at the target. All right, so I don't know if it's just me shooting a day or what. And to give you a frame of reference, now I know this is a cheaper gun, but I did do a bullseye competition 2 weeks ago that I got first place in center fire and rim fire, and I was shooting 4-inch plates at 40 yards. That's the same distance we're shooting there, and I was consistently hitting 4-inch plates in the rain. It's a nice day outside today. In the M&P, I've got 1, 2, 3, looks like there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So those are my hits. Now that's not a terrible group from 40 yards. It kind of is for me, considering I feel like the trigger feels good. I wonder if just at the last minute maybe I'm snatching it a little bit. I don't know if maybe I'm not using enough grip, and then when I pull the trigger I'm kind of snatching it down a little bit. Most of these seem to be where my group is, which would make sense at 40 yards. That should be my group. I would be very happy with that, except for the addition of these 3 here, which I think maybe are bad trigger pulls. So when I go back to shoot far away, I'll know that my kind of error zone is below the target. So if I don't hear any pings, I can aim above the target, and then hopefully we get some hits. All right, so take 2. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a drill I commonly do. We're gonna do the walk back drill. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot 5 rounds, and if I can put all 5 on the target, we're gonna walk back 10 yards and do that again until we can't really do it anymore. It's what I do to generally kind of work out my accuracy issues. It makes me like calm down and kind of focus on the trigger pull. Okay, so obviously me, not the gun. Through one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I can hit with a shield from here. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we'll just take this M&P and we'll walk it down here to a pretty reasonable distance for our last magazine here, and we'll try to shoot it up close because it's probably what it's gonna be used for anyway, to be honest with you. Now, a lot of these accuracy issues could just be me, because I did see Jerry Michelik's video and he didn't have any problem hitting at 35, so he also was shooting from a rest and I was shooting from standing at about 80 yards, but he's a fairly capable shooter, I promise you. But I think it's more me than the gun. So let's just speed up with it and see how that does. We haven't had any malfunctions yet, so at least that's good. Obviously works. All right, so first impressions of the metal frame 2.0. I don't know. You know, I like the M&P. I like how they traditionally shoot. I didn't really love how this one shot. I mean, everything I like about this gun you can get on the polymer frame. And the thing I don't like really is the metal frame, and that's kind of why you'd buy this, right? I mean, like as usual, I have a tendency to feel a little bit more recoil with an aluminum frame than I actually do with a polymer frame. That's why I traditionally stick to polymer frame guns or steel frame guns, because the steel frame adds rigidity, but it also adds weight to it, whereas this only adds like 2 ounces, so the weight itself doesn't really help out reducing the recoil, just essentially adds weight. On top of that, it also does not get the polymer flex that polymer has, and on top of that, we have this thing again, which I was worried about when I was reviewing the CSX, and I stand here, is like, why does your grip not have texture where I want texture? Like, I understand not having it here, but what's this? I know that looks good, but why does this not have texture? This is where my hand grips down. This is where I want it. I want to be able to hold on to that recoil. I want to be able to hold on to that gun. So if I do snatch the trigger a lot, like I did today, now trust me, the accuracy issues with this gun seem to be just me and me alone. When I was really focusing and biting down on the gun, I seemed to be able to get good hits. Just for some reason, it just wasn't vibing with me today. Now, it was fast, don't get me wrong. The trigger's really great because the M&P itself is a good gun. I like the M&P. I have several. I have the 5-inch, I have the 4-inch, I have a bunch of shields. I carry the Shield Performance Center. I'm a fan. But am I a fan of the M&P 2.0 metal frame? I mean, honestly, not really. I like the Cerakote. It looks so cool. When I saw this in the gun store, I was like, man, this looks awesome. The two-tone is awesome. The inserts are cool, but this to me, you know what I think they should do? This is innovative, don't get me wrong. I ditch this shit and just get a metal frame with either grip panels or get just texturing on the aluminum. You know, you can do that, right? You can texture aluminum. That's a thing people can do. You could put 25 lines per inch right here, Smith & Wesson, and charge 20 bucks more and probably have a significantly better product. I would like to see this in a steel frame. That would, like the PPQ did. Like the PPQ has the polymer frame and then it has the steel frame match, which is what you would use in a match. To me, there's no reason really to upgrade to the aluminum frame unless you really like the Cerakote, because it does look really, really cool, and it does function as well as an M&P, in my opinion. I think really the only upgrade you're getting here is it looks really, really cool, honestly. Performance upgrade, not so much. And for $400, if you want to spend more to get a good-looking gun, don't get me wrong. I've done that plenty of times. I bought guns that look cool for $1,500. I've got like 10, 19, 11s. There's no reason for that other than they look good. But for me personally, is it good enough to pay $1,000 for? Oof. If I didn't own an M&P already, I think maybe. But since I own a bunch of the polymer ones and I didn't notice any distinguishable difference in performance between this or the polymer one, for me, not so much. If you bought this, however, I wouldn't blink an eye because it is extremely reliable. It comes from a reputable company. Magazines and accessories are easily available. Holster's easy to find, has the same holster compatibility as the original. Plus, it comes with arguably a slightly better trigger, better-ish. I prefer my Apex aftermarket in my original M&P. And if you consider that I put a red dot and Apex trigger in it, and it still comes under the price of this right out of the factory, man. Hard to love it, but I do like it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.